Good day. My topic today is titled Stupid World. Small preamble. The world has fallen into a plague, and it is the utter stupidity. Pre-COVID-19 time, on the era of ISIS groups of terror and terrorism, and the rise of extremes of the right or left, my friend asked me why I do not write about the happiness of a person of his age. So I answered him, I do not want to betray myself and my mind. A person is today pay the price of destroying his values, corrupting his morals, and collapsing the value of life. He was cheered for being hired by a stray bullet, and there is a terrorist, a militia, or driven by the fifth leaders or by decision to kill him, or pardon, who was injured in his brain, surprised. He suffers from wounds, not caring for his mother, or for his disability, or a violent act from her, or that he received, in addition to the natural disasters that may attack him, or the plague of hunger, starvation, of the thirst, or discrefitation, or disease of the body, and he does not have the value of treatment of pay them. A person striving at some point for calm, tranquility in the heart and soul, sober contemplation and silence, and attaining inner peace, all of that may be overwhelmed by stretch coming from the unknown. Life became wonders about its usefulness at the time when its people are in constant danger, with a apologize to the rebellious German philosopher, raging and genius Nietzsche, who asks that man lives in permanent dangers in order to live life. Today's man anticipates the advent of hell, about which he reads in the holy books, calls him before the hour comes to approach, turns against dreams of paradise and abiding bliss around which rivers flow. And now, the war against unknown residents is an example of COVID-19. The world today deals with an enemy whose residence and sources is unknown. And here the enemy is able to ruin the whole world, crossing all borders and geography without anyone saying it. And it is there to the heights, the height of the absurd, and the absurd were against the non-enemy. We are at war, in hell's war, of course. We are not fighting against any army or against another nation, but the enemy is there. Invisible, elusive, advancing, and that requires our general mobilization. We are at war. French president say that I told now, and the reference is Contrepoint, Contrepoint, le 22 décembre 2020, or the 2020. This armed, this tamed war on today's world, and the fact that this world has fallen victim to it is the greatest example of the stupidity of a world deceived and destroyed by its intelligence. Look back about the race, human stupid. A well-known American thinker and famous in his popular writing, and also directed to researchers, academic thinkers, and others, as he was interested in his programs and all his books on teaching, thinking, and creative thinking, intellectual activities. It is Eduardo Bono, and the title of his book is "Why So Stupid? Human Race." In edition 2003, 2006. Now, in it, citizens, the global and European thinker, that this thinking was built in a wrong way. It is a traditional thought based on a dualism that traces its origins to Aristotelian thought. But what is the relationship between this talk about the Bono and the disaster of today's world, which is destroyed by an enemy, which is the world that they made, and therefore the world is lacking the ability to think for the sex, and it is existence, and it is destroyed. It is nonsense with stupidity after it is stupid. I understand from De Bono thought and other books about the English language about the human stupidity, that the individual and humanity as a whole have not learned to think, and as a result they are, the humans, mistakes, and this is the essence of COVID-19. If we assume that COVID-19 is a human-made, then this research, the worst error in thinking, the complete stupidity of today's world. We can see also another books about this same topic. For Christian Hoffman. It is she has a book, Stupid Humanism, fully as competence in early, modern, and 21st century culture. Finally, a book in French language, Alain Dunou, mediocrity, or banality. That meaning our world system, the world lives in the state of absurdity, loss of meaning, and destruction of the idea of the art of existence, and thus depriving it is people of living with joy or happiness, and where it became a void of the idea of Leibniz, a German philosopher, who claimed that the world is the best possible world. Dirty, bad and hands. We are now a world of power and insignificance, and everyone pays the price and will pay the price, because in the world of the Bono, humanity today has fallen into the noble human meaning. As for insignificance, this is because human beings strive to attain daily pleasures and the affair of immediate life. I mean by immediate life is only satisfaction by food and sex. or but with absence of passion and the joys of emotional encounters and the joys of love with little quarantine and social disaster, distancing imposed by COVID-19. In 2020, everyone's life changed almost overnight, has governed and strongly recommended or ordered the suspicions, fundamental rights such as the freedom of move to assemble and to very many to work in an effort to counter the coronavirus, the suspicion of these freedoms, coupled with the lack of universal social insurance for everyone. Reference August 7, 2020, volume 13, issue for global dynamics, Georgiana, Tarkle, writer of this article that I see now, many lines. COVID-19 and its attachments are not issued from nothing or blind eyes of nature. Rather, it is a human-made with a dirty hand, whether by an individual scientist of a group of researchers in their laboratory, and it may be an absurd in international act or intentional act, and it is maybe a result of the hidden and malicious intention to avenge a situation against the whole world. I approach Hannah Arendt in the staying to trivial evil. Was the coronavirus created in the laboratory? It is possible that man in a secret laboratory created his global epidemic. This is a question at heart of Clear Ideas, our weekly program produced by France Info and France Culture, and intending to fight against information disorder from fake news to preconceived idea, etc. The same reference that I told you now. Despite the wonderful legacy of the Enlightenment, La Lumière, the legacy of the mind and its victories, as Steven Pinker, it has as well as the triumph of the idea of freedom for the aforementioned era. But today's world is overthrowing the impact of the epidemic with the idea of reason and freedom. And this is the result in the rise of the dictatorship and the totalitarian idea and the war on opposition under the pretext of the preserving the health of citizens as well as the dictatorship of white armies, etc. And finally, the lack of interest in following the injured and the head of the thinking about investing and marketing vacancy and computing in its preparation between countries. Those who made the coronavirus, whether cautiously, by blind will, aggressive intelligence, or sordid economic motives, these were born disabled in the head and heart and exiled from the history of progress and transcendence. And pregnant with high pride, this world is bad because it is driven by the behavior of the herd, even if some of its people have reached the highest level of science and technology. then these are born and life carrying the thought and the spirit of the mob, and the elites and its carry the snakes of public opinion and the street. And the scientific groups that consider spreading the epidemic are black rat in white clothed. At the heights of life, life has become unbearable a force measure from the death push us in spite of everything to smile. With all of this, we can smile at the life that perceived and will continue after today's world, continuing its path after today's world. One of the Arab intellectuals asked what is it mean? Did the coronavirus, coronavirus, etc., fly from the thought of world? Scientists, this is another stupidity, another question also. See you next time.